It seems like everyone online is hyping up Google VEO 3 right now, but the truth is that almost everyone I've seen using it is doing it completely wrong. They're wasting credits, getting mediocre results, and leaving insane potential on the table. That's why I've spent the past month pushing VEO 3 way past what most people think is possible, and along the way, I discovered the best way to use it without wasting credits while still unlocking its full video potential. So if you've been frustrated that your videos never look like the ones you see online, or if VEO 3 just feels too expensive because your credits vanish too fast, today I'm going to show you the exact blueprint I used to go from burning hundreds of credits to generating insanely high quality results in minutes. Now the tool I'm going to be using to access Google VEO 3 is called OpenArt. Although it is a bit more expensive to use VEO through OpenArt, it adds so much extra functionality to your AI workflow that at this point it makes up for it. So once you sign up to OpenArt, you'll get met with this homepage window. And to access Google VEO 3, you need to click on the left side here where it says video. That takes you now to the AI video workflow. Then in the top left, you want to select text, which is for text to video generation. And in the select model field, as you can see right now, there are tons of models that OpenArt offers. But what we want to do is select Google VEO 3 as our model. Now this allows us to enter our prompt. And this brings me to one of the most important parts that you need to understand in order to use VEO 3 in the most efficient way. And that is how to correctly prompt in VEO 3. So Google VEO 3 is a very sophisticated model, which means that normal prompts, the kind you might type into ChatGPT where you just quickly ask for something, will not give you good results. To really understand how much depth you can and honestly should be adding into your prompts, let me walk you through what I call the 10 components that you should almost always include. So whenever you start off your prompt, you generally want to start with a scene. That could be something like a weathered sea captain delivers a line on deck as the sun sets, or it could be an instruction for something like a man on the street interview or a POV shot. Next, you should follow with the subject. So who is the actual person? What do they look like? For example, a sea captain with a thick gray beard. After that, you always want to include background information. So what is actually happening in the background? Is it a busy New York street out at sea, or maybe it's inside a dungeon? Then you want to mention the action you want your subject to take. For example, he gazes towards the horizon, or he jumps in front of another person. After that, you want to specify the style of the video. Is it a horror cinematic shot, which will add more dark colors and intensity to the scene? Or is it a comedy cinematic shot, which will do the opposite and actually make the video lighter and more playful? This is where you set the overall mood of your video. Next comes the camera settings, then the composition, and after that, you should describe the lighting and the mood. For example, you could say golden hour with warm tones or cold blue tones with heavy shadows. Now this is what really sets the atmosphere of your video. Then you want to add the audio. This could be a spoken line of dialogue, the sound of ocean waves, or even just background music. And at the very end, you can choose to finish with a specific color palette if you want to go even deeper. So for example, colder tones that give you that sort of interstellar movie look, or warmer tones that bring more warmth and vibrance to your scene. And then don't forget negative instructions. That's something a lot of people overlook, but it's really important to include because it tells the model what not to generate. That way you don't get random or unwanted things showing up in your video. I know this seems like a lot, but this is such an important step if you want to make your workflow with VEO 3 much more efficient. And to make sure you still get the benefits of writing very detailed prompts without spending hours doing it manually, I've made a short AI template that you can use. You just paste it into ChatGPT, and in the bracket section, you simply describe your idea. So I'm going to open a new ChatGPT chat, paste it in, and inside the bracket, I'll just write my simple idea. For example, a street interview with a chimp. That's a very vague idea, but when I send it off to ChatGPT, you can see the AI expands it into a much longer, much more specific prompt. All I have to do is take this expanded prompt, go back to OpenArt, and paste it into the prompt window. Now, what you can also do is turn on the enhance feature. This automatically enhances your prompt even further. You don't always need this when you've already written a very detailed prompt, but it can be really useful if you just want something quick, or if you're working with simpler AI models. Then in the settings, you'll see a few options. You can toggle the audio on or off, you can select the resolution. I usually go with the highest resolution possible for the best results. And then you'll see the mode selector, which is actually a pretty interesting option. Here, you can choose between fast mode and normal mode. What fast mode really is basically a cheaper and a more cramped version of the normal mode. So you're still getting a version of Google VEO 3, but it's stripped down a bit. It is still as good, if not even slightly better, in terms of quality compared to other AI video generators. But where it really starts to look a little bland is in the movements. They become slower, more blunt, and just not as natural. And honestly, I don't really recommend using fast mode, because if you're already using Google VEO 3 through OpenArt, you're just better off selecting another model altogether, like Kling. So for me personally, I almost always stick with normal mode. Now that we've set everything up, let's go ahead and generate a video and take a look at the results.
So what brings you to the city today?
Honestly, just wanted to see what all the hype was about.
And how's it going so far? Busy, loud, but I kind of like it.
And as you can see, it came out looking very realistic, considering it's a chimp answering a human's questions. Now the only problem I have with this video is the resolution. It's only in 1080p, and that really makes the quality almost unusable if you want to use it in a higher production video or anywhere else where you need a higher scale. But this problem is totally solvable. Let me show you how. With the video open, look at the bottom right corner. Here you can select the upscaling feature by clicking on Video Upscale. That opens a new window with your video already selected. Now, in the resolution menu, you just pick the resolution you want it to upscale to. I'm going with 4K here, and not only that, but you can also choose the FPS you want the video upscale to. I'm selecting the highest option here as well. Then I hit Enhance Video, and let's compare.
So what brings you to the city today?
Honestly, just wanted to see what all the hype was about.
And how's it going so far?
Busy, loud, but I kind of like it.
And as you can see, looking at these two shots side by side, the difference is massive. Especially if you're working on a higher production project, the upscaling really gives you the extra clarity and detail you need. Alright, now let's take a look at image to video with Google VEO 3. So to access image to video, you just click at the top where it says image and then select the correct model. Here in the interface, I'm going to drop in this image of a samurai that I have right here. And now we have the option to add our prompt. For this, I'm going to use the same template that I showed you earlier. The only difference is that at the beginning, I'll tell ChatGPT that it should use this image as the starting frame. So I insert the image and then I continue building the rest of the prompt exactly the same way I would for text to video. Now generally, image to video works very similar to text to video, but one thing you need to keep in mind is that you should always try to start with the highest quality image possible, because since the AI is building the video based on your image, the final quality of your video will depend heavily on the quality of the image you upload. So if you're starting with a low quality image, the output will almost always look a little worse than you expect. That's why it's best to find something high quality before you start. Besides this, the settings are pretty much the same. And here again, I don't really recommend using fast mode. With Google VEO 3, it won't generate the video significantly faster, and the only thing you really get back is a worse looking video that isn't even much cheaper than normal mode. So let's just go ahead and generate the video. And as you can see, it came out looking very good. There's not really much I could point out as a problem here. Maybe the close-up looks a little bit weird, but besides that, the video matches the photo perfectly. It keeps the same style of the image that I uploaded, and overall, it just looks really good. So now you know exactly how to stop wasting credits and unlock the full power of Google VEO 3, and you can go ahead and start creating insanely high-quality videos with it today. And with OpenArt, you get way more than just VEO access. You get all the extra features bundled into one simple workflow, making it ridiculously easy to create, manage, and scale your videos. And what keeps me coming back is how they're always first to integrate the newest AI models. Whenever a breakthrough model like VEO 3 or the latest version of Kling drops, OpenArt usually has it available within days. So if you're ready to start creating videos, just like the ones I showed you today, click the link below and sign up for OpenArt.